Happy Friday, family. How y'all doing today? Get my light right. I think that's okay. How y'all doing today? Welcome. Try to get my lights right. Welcome to the Lord's Love Live, guys. Happy Friday. Today's topic is intentions, and the Lord was talking to me last night, and after we do our work on ourselves, I was supposed to rub this in. It's all still. After we do our work on ourselves, guys, we start getting this feeling like we want to feel accomplished in each day. We pay closer attention to our objectives for the day, what we want to get out of the day. And when the Lord gives me a topic to speak about, I also want to present it in such a way that would be pleasing to Him. And also, I've been also going by things that in my past that had came to challenge my thoughts of myself. And things that stood out in my mind as I was healing. And that I can see now that I'm still healing because of how I implement those things in my daily behavior, which is throwing off other things, which now that I've taken notice of it, now I can stop doing it and try to have things come in sync. So what I'm talking about here is at one time, someone has said to me, which I'm going to get into a lot of this throughout the talk today. And someone has said to me in my past, and it bothered me because usually if something really bothers you it's because you already feel some kind of truth in it. Or the person that's saying it, you have given them a certain amount of their words, a certain amount of weight in your mind. Or it might be said at a time where your surface is shook already. So now as you putting things back together, you know how cement is, and you write something in cement, and then as it starts to harden, that's just there always unless you smooth it out before it hardens. Yeah, like that. Like those things. And I think because it had been said to me before, it gave it more validation. And what I'm talking about here is the fact that I was told that I talk ghetto. And so I see that because I've been trying so hard to not talk ghetto, talk like myself, this is how I talk, is that now it's throwing other things off because it's not I'm not being authentically me, so therefore I'm watching my tone. I don't want to sound ghetto. I don't want to sound like a dude. That's what somebody else said, like, I act like a dude. And so therefore those things stuck to me. And those things stuck because, which I feel like some of the realest people that I've ever met was in the area that I stayed in on housing. And it was my stepping stone. I stayed there for 4 years. But because I stayed in that area and because of what other people thought that came to that area, and people not wanting to come visit me because of the area I stayed in. I don't know why I look so light. I'm really, really not that light. Because of how those people didn't visit me from the area that, because I was staying in the area I stayed in, it really made me feel, once the person said that, it really gave it a little validation for me. Because, you know, at that time, I was more, before I had my son, I was more outgoing. You know, actually, my son is the one who brought it in and made me really more of a homebody with God. He used my son to do it. And so people I would meet, I'd be like, everything be going good. And then as soon as I'd be like, where I stayed, they'd be like, oh, well, can you visit me? Like that type of thing. And then I would hear people talking about the hood, and they would know that I stayed there in the hood. And, you know, but I would hear them talking, and they'll straighten it out after they find out I was there, because they wasn't trying to hurt my feelings or nothing, but it was their true feelings. But, you know, they didn't know the people there. They didn't know us. They just automatically assumed because we couldn't afford the higher rent, and that because we were staying in that area, we was a certain kind of way. So those things had stuck. And so that's why when he had said it and when I had heard it, it stuck better. But the Lord was talking to me last night. And because just like that, one thing that I just said, this brought the title of intentions to mind today. Every time I come before you, I ask the Lord to lead my steps, to guide my steps. But I can get in the way if I'm trying too hard, or if I'm, you know, if I'm not being authentically me, then I'm in the way, you know. And that makes too much room for error. That makes me not really pay as close attention to what I'm supposed to be saying. I might skip a word or whatever because I'm trying to present it in a certain kind of way, because I want to look like a lady. I don't want to sound, you know, ghetto. I don't want to feel like I'm being seen a certain kind of way. And that's not nobody's fault but my own. And so just like that, God had brought different other things to my mind that as we do work on ourselves and as we grow as people, you know, some of us are later than others, you know, coming to certain things in our lives, coming to certain realizations and stuff. But I was looking how he was showing me after he heals our land, then we're able to examine other sides of the coin. The more healed we feel, just like, you know, the more a wound heals and you take the Band-Aid off and then you let it air out in order for it to finish healing or whatever, the more you can actually see the wound healing, and you can actually, you know, see how fast it's healing. And actually, as you can see it, it's more, you can give it more time of, well, it's healing pretty fast. So, you know, I know by the time I get ready to go to the church picnic or whatever, I know I'll be able to wear that skirt without, you know, without it making my knees look all bad or whatever, you know. As women, we do not want our knees looking, having no scabs on it, like. That's street humor. And that's just me. I'm going to start off with Luke 12:48. But he that knew not and did not commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. But for unto whomsoever much is given of him shall be much required, and to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. Intentions. Love bombs. The other side of the coin of a love bomb is the other person in the love bomb. How are they able to move that fast? Because their intention was that they found somebody they connected with, and when they're not working, that's all they think about is that person. They don't want to be around the people they've been around. All they want to do is spend time with somebody they connected with. And when they make plans, when the other person is making plans, just because their intentions wasn't the same, don't mean a person can't fall in love and really enjoy somebody. Really just want their company. Really, it's a cold world and you just want, like, man, I can't wait to see them again. You all thinking about them at work and stuff? And then they text you and you're like, oh, he's thinking about me too. Just because you have a bad experience don't mean that's not a real thing. Falling in love is a real thing. People really enjoy each other's company. And, sometimes it's just like, it's really hard for you stand out like a sore thumb. When you go places you don't feel welcome. You already know to try to tone your bubbly energy down going in a room, because you don't want them to feel like a certain kind of way about you, coming in a room. If you're chosen, you know what I'm talking about. If you have a high frequency, you know what I'm talking about. When you enter a room, it ripples. You can feel the energy change when you walk in a room. And then people will act like they're just glancing at you, but you could feel that the laughter has stopped. You could feel the energy has changed, and people are curious about you. And you want to have a tone down, so it's like, I fit in, I blend in. I'm just blending in. I'm just blending in. And you meet a person, you don't know if they're mirroring you or not, but that's not always the case. That's not always the case. Sometimes in life, and I've had those times, where you just click with somebody. They're different than you. They're not trying to mirror you or nothing. But y'all just have a connection. Even if they totally opposite than you. And that's even better, because it's just like when you listening to them, they give you a whole nother perspective. When they listen to you, they actually have their attention. They actually are in wonder of what you're saying because they never thought about it like that before. There's always another side to the coin. Me being a mother of a son that I have an older son, and that's here. I was in his life for a while, and the other side of the coin with a young man having children. Sometimes it's not that he's a bad father. Sometimes he's trying so hard to be a good father. But the mother keeps on doing things to make him feel like they're a family. And he's already made it known that we're not like that. I'm just trying to come and see my child. And then the next thing you know, the family is against them and talking about them, making them feel some type of way when they come around to be around their child, making it hard for them. You know, it's another side to that coin. And even the things that I have said online, and, you know, it sort of makes it rough. Because you really don't really want to come around because you already know with certainty that you're either going to be leading a person on or you're not really wanted around. They're going to make it hard for you. You trying to show your best, put your best effort forward, but you're met with, you know, this thing. You're not being appreciated for what you are doing, especially in a society that a lot of men don't try to be in their child's life. So the other side of that coin is maybe if you really look at the whole situation, maybe it's not always that person ain't nothing. They ain't right. They this, they that. But if the child have seen them or see them, their child support is already coming out to check or whatever. They can just send the child support through Cash App. It's not hard no more, Western Union or nothing. But when a man makes an effort to see them, they don't need oh, he did it. But they also don't need the extra because it is an effort in this day and time. And just because your feelings change for the father don't mean the child's feelings have changed. It's not fair. No matter what I feel or what I've been through, it's not fair for me to make that just a public note to society. And same as what I'm talking about as far as, let's say, a young man fall in love or is falling in love with a woman. A young woman is falling in love with a man. Let's say she says, oh, she saw a couple things she just really didn't like. And then she says to him, you know what? I think it's better for us to just be friends. Why you say that? Because, I really like you. I love spending time with you and everything. But I just don't think it'll go further than dating. And in my future, I do want to get married. And so I just don't want to lead you to think that it's going to be more than what it is. So, I am going to be dating. I have other friends, and I just want to be friends. Okay, that's cool. But as time goes on, he's falling more in love, even though she's made that statement to him. And now, the more and more she goes with other friends or just dating, hanging out, doing what she do, he feel like she has done him wrong because she decided to keep living. That's the other side of the coin. We all have a right to live how we want. It's not a day promised to us. Somebody can like you and like being around you and not see you in a romantic light, but they thought they would. Also, how I feel like, and I'm not taking back the statements that I've made. I haven't made false statements, but I have said too much. And I can admit that I have said too much. Personal stuff. This is a forum for biblical stuff. If I have something personal to say, it should be positive. That was my intention. My intention. Coming in. God also let me know that through working through which a lot of my stuff already been pressed, it's iron and pressed, So I'm not getting on here like, oh, and then, as I'm working through, then I can be in touch and in tune with my tribe. The things that they've been through or are going through, I can relate on a soul level. And they could feel that. But now it's time for the other side of the coin. And you can't blame somebody for getting involved with you and you showing your representative, because we want to show the best of ourselves meeting somebody. We're not going to meet somebody and be just grubbing like we eating popcorn alone. You know how you take a full... You're not going to do that. When you with somebody, you're going to be like... One. That's delicious. So as they get to know you more, and as you get to know them more, and maybe y'all are two broken people. Maybe y'all mesh together because they're more dominant and you're more submissive. Maybe that's why y'all got together, but y'all both broken, right? So as time goes on or whatever, your self-esteem issues might get in the way. You might depend on them for your self-esteem. And when they're not giving enough, you might become sort of needy, trying to get attention. And then, when they don't give you enough attention, then you kind of make them the villain. I need you to be giving me compliments now. Now, that's not to say that they act right and then start complimenting other women, doing this, doing that to make you feel some type of way, all this, all that extra stuff. But then you have a decision you can make. I'm not dealing with this. That's why it's so important to do the work. Because you have to set your own boundaries. Sometimes, even with our children that love us so much, they test boundaries. They see where they want to see how far they can go. Oh, stop right there. Okay. All right. That's where I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to go no further. That's how people are. You can't blame somebody if you ain't got your boundaries all tactful, intact. And if you try to go past here too many times, then it's over. Now you let them push it, 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 push it. And let me tell you what else he did. Me. Sometimes there is a thing called being asleep spiritually. Some people know that. There are narcissists in the world. There are people who, we all have narcissistic ways. And there are some people who's not narcissistic but have narcissistic ways more than you do. And they go to find out that you are asleep spiritually. There's a such thing. And they see you are. You can't really blame them for wanting to take some of that good energy you got. Blame them for taking advantage. That's why it's so important to have your own relationship with God, to do the work.